I've lived without feelings for 14 years. Only glimpses. Not that but God's taught me not to live by feelings. I came out of addiction where I had to have feelings in order to function. Like I was totally feeling driven, and we can't afford to live by feelings. We walk by faith. But God wants to establish such a strong faith that when feelings come, it helps you. But when feelings have to come to help you before you've established strong faith, all of a sudden your feelings determine whether he's there or not. And that's deception. Because what happens when we're in a horrible situations where there ain't no feelings at all, ain't no worship music, none of that stuff. And all of a sudden all hell's breaking loose around us, but we can't realize that he's there. He's showing me his tangible presence for the first time in my life on a consistent basis. But it's not so that I can have his tangible presence to touch people with. It's so I can know his tangible presence to fellowship and communion with. So I've always heard Bill. I don't know, you guys know Bill, right? Bill Johnson. So I've talked to Bill for years, buddy, because Bill's like, I just turned my affection towards him. And his presence is there. And I'm like, help me, dude. I'm as transparent as it gets. I don't have nothing to hide from you. I long for that. I'm like, man, I don't even understand that. Like, I know he's there every day, everywhere I go. I know he's there. But what do you mean you turn your affection towards him? He goes, I just turn myself towards the Lord. I'm like, do you turn left? Do you turn right? I'm serious. I ask questions. Reinhard too. All these men of God, Heidi, all of them. I'm like, I need help. But the most help that I've ever asked for is in the presence of the Lord. Because I want to know. Okay, you turn your affection toward him. And then what happens? Well, he feels like a silk scarf is laid on my hand. I'm like, for years I've went, no. But what it hasn't done is stop me from believing that he's there. And I believe that God's developed a gift of faith in me over all these years so that what's happening now didn't change anything that I've learned. But it's added to it, and it's multifaceted, and it's helping me. But it's not helping me like I feel lost for 14 years. It's helping me, God, you've really established a lot of stuff in these last years that have really helped me be solid in pressing into who we are without having to feel you to know who I am. Which is amazing, because God really wants a healthy bride that knows who she is, but doesn't have to feel her husband's to know that she's still the bride. He wants to develop a bride's mindset in such a way to where he doesn't have to audibly say, I love you, but they believe that Jesus Christ is the reality of his love. Because if she doesn't hear it, she feels lonely. Lonely is a very crushing thing in the kingdom. Lonely can make you try to produce prophetic words to feel like you're loved. Lonely can make you have to pray for people for them to receive healing so that you're graded on your performance from people, which establishes a false identity. Lonely can make you have to try to find a husband or a wife or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and then all of a sudden all kinds of stuff comes in to compromise your faith and establish some fake reality to where you think love satisfies loneliness when the only thing that satisfies loneliness is contentment.